Yeah.
And I mean, for the looting, I don't know. I don't know how I feel about the looting. Like I was okay with it downtown, because I did understand. I was not okay, obviously. Like I was actually not okay with it, because I do see like they say they're gonna have the insurance to cover it, but in some insurance companies, writing is not part of the
Okay.
policy, you know. And I was like, they're gonna struggle, but they got the money, you know. But then there's also those businesses downtown that don't got the money. Like there's I know a bunch of business owners downtown that are Hispanic, they're black, and they put all their money into it, you know. They're not like filthy rich like
Hmm.
other corporations that were throwing rocks at them, at those little stores, those little restaurants, those little like everything, camera stores that were burning to the ground downtown. And I know those guys, I know those owners, and just to see them watch their business go down was pretty messed up. But I understand they got somewhat of like an amount of money to fix it. But once it came down to like our neighborhoods, like that's when I noticed, all right, this is too far. That's not even
Yeah.
for the movement anymore, which bothered me. Like this morning, I saw a video from like it was different cameras going around this neighborhood, and it was a mom driving around her kids, and she would like just park up, and the kids would steal stuff from the houses. Like at that point is when you go too far.
Yeah, like again, going back to the looting downtown, I didn't care about the Target. I don't care about the
Yeah, I
Walgreens,
didn't
the
care about Target
Target,
either.
about the Gucci, about all of them. The United States is a capitalist society. And what do you do to make a point? You just not destroy capitalist society. I don't want the FBI on me. But like you make it, you ruin their money, because then they'll see we have to make a difference because Target themselves came out with we don't care, like we're fine, we can replace this, and that's how you make a statement. The Gucci, like all them, they can pay everything back, so I don't care about that. Again, the small business that does hurt me because I understand their pain, not understand, but I have. Is it sympathy or empathy? One of those two, where I feel for them because they have, a lot, like you said, many businesses downtown or locally don't have the money to repair. Like you said, insurance covers some part, but they don't cover everything.
Yeah.
So I feel for this family because they're about to have a lot of loss. Um, but then I also see it from their perspective, from the looters. And a lot of them are white, a lot of them are Hispanic, and a lot of them are black. But I think you have to notice that a lot of the looters aren't part of the protesters. When the looting was happening in our community, there were protesters downtown because those were the ones trying to make a difference. So the people trying to group them together, that's how the media is going to make people see the protesters as rioting as bad because they're targeting businesses. But these are two groups, and we have to focus on the foundation of why it's happening. I see where they might be angry and target us. It's sad for me because we don't have money to repair, but Hispanics have always been known to be racially biased towards the African American community, especially the older generations. So from their perspective, it's angry, and maybe they want to destroy communities. And obviously, I feel for my community and Hispanics, but I understand why they would be angry, want to target our community. So focusing on the foundation or like the principles of it, and not getting skewed, oh, this looting is bad, and then just having that negative mentality, then you're not thinking about why it's happening. And I think that's the main principle we have
Yeah,
to look
that's
at.
what I noticed from a lot of people. They're like swaying away from the actual like point of it, which is like Black Lives Matter. And a lot of like I posted the Blackout Tuesday thing, and I was like, cause like I stand with the movement, like I support the movement. A lot of people have been like killed like in a really bogus way, like that's the best way to put it. And I support Black Lives Matter, the movement. But then people are like, but you don't support the looting. Like, why do you post that you don't support the looting? And I was thinking, but there was this guy he was like, I think he went to a Foot Locker.
Hmm.
Or, yeah, it was a Foot Locker. And he was like breaking in. He was like, having the time of his life, laughing, smiling,
Hmm.
giving shout outs. And then while picking up like a pair of sneakers, he was saying Black Lives Matter justice for George. While
Hmm.
laughing and just taking shoes. I was
Hmm.
like, if you're going to use that as an excuse, then you shouldn't be out there at all. You get me?
Hmm.
So I feel like you could not support the looting and support the movement, because at the end of the day, those are two separate things. You get
Hmm.
me? So I don't understand why some people are like, yo, if you're not speaking out, you're racist, or if you're not supporting the looting, like that's happening in your neighborhood, then you're a racist. Like those people are angry and stuff. Maybe you don't know the owners, maybe they were racist and that's why they attacked them. But I'm just saying, like at this point, you're just going everywhere. Like you see the lives, they're just like pointing out stores that they don't even know what's in there, and they just go in.
You can see how they're not like people of all races are doing the looting. So obviously, a lot of people don't support it. Even I don't really support it that much. But if we're looking back to context and maybe why, then maybe I like see where they might be doing it. But they're two separate things. You know how I said there's the protesters and the rioters and the people that are looting. So like I agree. You don't have if you speak out against looting, you know, like I feel bad for my neighborhood.
Yeah.
That doesn't mean you can't support Black Lives Matter. Black Lives Matter is a whole different thing than robbing. Like it's killing black people, innocent black people, and robbing. So I don't think they should be connected. So,
Yeah, and also, like, what do you think about the statement that says if you're not talking now, then you're a racist? Like, do you feel like people should have to speak out right now? Like, do you think everybody that has a social media account has to speak out?
well, I'm trying to think of it as a teenager's perspective.
Yeah.
I feel a lot of people care about it. You know, people share like a lot of us. You know, we share posts of how to talk to your parents or where to donate, where to call. So I'm trying to think of it as a teenager and say maybe it's getting a little repetitive. Maybe like if I say something, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
There's some teenagers don't see themselves as political advocates, or they just don't see themselves as like, oh, like if I say something, it's not gonna make a difference. As like this guy or girl say something, they might care about it, but they just maybe it's a little ignorant, a little like just speak out, you know,
Yeah.
just speak out. You're not hurting anything, but I don't think it makes them racist. But it does like might show that they don't care enough
Yeah.
to talk about it. But when it comes to famous people, it's completely different. They know they have the platform. They know they have the followers that might be white or that might not support it. So advocating for it and truly like talking about fundamentals might convince people to change their mind, like convince people to vote. And people with the platforms who are not doing it, that's what makes me angry, because that shows that they don't want to voice it out. They don't want people to think that Black Lives Matter because they're not advocating for it.
Yeah. Yeah, I understand. Like, celebrity, I feel like regardless of what you think, you have a business that like speaks to the whole world. You got the platform, and I feel you have to speak out. And if you don't agree with it, then okay, like it's fine, you know. But that shows your true colors. Damn, that's my train of thought. No, but if you're a teenager and you don't want to speak out about it, like I feel like whatever comes out of your social media or out of your mouth has to be like legit, you know, like your real feelings. Like nobody should be forced to say something, 'cause that's how you think change is gonna happen, but it doesn't happen. Because a lot of people, like when it was the election in 2016, everybody was speaking, like everyone, they were posting about this, Bernie this, Hillary this, but then Trump ended up winning.
Yeah.
Because it was what the Republicans said. It was less talking, more doing. You know, I feel like that's what one of the problems as a teenager is. Like our generation likes to talk a lot and they don't do enough. So I feel like if you want to post something about it, about the movement, and people are telling you, yo, post something, you know, like post it, you're not a racist. It's like, you know, if you don't post it after people told you, okay, you don't want to post it, but that shows your colors, you know.
Yeah.
But if you post it and you don't agree with it, I don't know, I feel like that's even worse, because that means you're just doing it to look good, and I really don't like that at all. Like, also people were more, one thing I did notice is that people were more vocal about being in the protests. Like, yo, I was there, and you don't know, you don't feel me because I was there and you weren't. Like, I was there, and every comment, like for everything, I was there. You know what's going on. Like, okay, like we understand you were there, but like, what do you think we should do now? You know, like wasn't that step? We know you were there, but what's like, what advice you want to give to people that weren't there instead of just bragging?
Excuse me.
Like, what advice you want to give to the people that were not there instead of just bragging about it? You get me? But yeah, I feel like anything that comes out of your mouth at this moment has to be like your actual feelings, how you feel at the moment, like your true feelings.
Yeah, and some people just don't know how to talk about it.
Yeah.
You know, when you talk about these type of issues, you have to lay it out logically and have a good way of formatting it, or else it's gonna sound like a bunch of babbling, and it's not gonna make sense. And it's only gonna make sense to you and the people that agree with you. So when you talk about logistics and you talk about like little logic, that's how you make people understand. But some people just don't know how to write like that or talk like that. So maybe it's better for them not to say anything. Because I've seen Facebook comments where someone tries to talk, and ask, okay, but why? And the comments are just like, oh, shut the fuck up and block me. And like, unfollow me if you don't agree. I don't like that, because then you're not doing anything to convince the other
And
side.
you're not looking at both sides of the story, Like, I feel like as a person, we have the duty to understand everybody's perspective. That's how you grow as a person. That's how your mindset like changes. You're not so small-minded. And we talk shit about our parents, like especially Hispanic parents. They're like, oh, but Hispanic parents grow up with this really close-minded like society. They don't agree with many things. It's only what they want. But you're doing the same thing, You're unfollowing people, you're unfriending people, you're blocking people for not agreeing with you. And I feel like you should understand, like, okay, like I don't agree with you, but at the same time, it's like I'm not gonna take it to the extreme. And people are gonna say, oh, but I don't agree that those should be my type of friendships. But people are really blocking people for the smallest reasons. Like, I'm not gonna say names, but somebody already blocked me on Instagram because I posted a selfie and they told me, dude, that's not the right time to do it. And I was like, it's a story, It's not like I posted it. I posted a story and they replied to it and they were like, there's not the time to do it. And then I tried to reply like, oh, okay, my bad. And it said like they had blocked me. I couldn't send the message.
At least you
anymore.
apologize. It's not
Yeah,
like you
like,
said, like, some
yeah,
people.
and they blocked me, and then when I spoke about my job being destroyed, and I said now I am unemployed again because we're coming out of a pandemic, and now I'm unemployed again. I was employed for 1 week, and then they destroyed my job, and I said that on my story again, and then I saw how in Snapchat it says my friends, people are not your friends anymore. I saw it, and it was 4 people. I just spoke out about how I didn't agree that they were going to like places they don't even know where they stand.
Yeah, and it's not like you said anything against black people.
Yeah.
You just, you were sad that your job got
I
looted.
said-
Now
I
you don't
said-
have a job. It's not to be, Sometimes I guess because it's such a serious situation right now, people don't know how to separate. People take everything more serious, and that's up to them. Like I understand that because it's a very serious situation. What's happening right now is nothing to take lightly, but some people are just not open to see other perspectives, and I have to listen to every perspective, or else I don't know how to make my opinion. If I need to learn the bad side, or like not even bad side, just different points of views. Like you said, maybe the looting is bad, but maybe it is okay because of Hispanic. You have to take in all this information so I can form my opinion.
Yeah, but I feel like people should listen to both sides of the story. Like, don't be so close-minded. Listen to your neighbors. And people actually told me, why are you not speaking? That's why I said people actually messaged me, why are you not speaking out? And I did speak out. I was talking to my neighbors about it. I was talking to my coworkers about it. I was talking to my parents about it. And I wanted to hear everyone's perspectives. And then I thought about it. I reflected on it, and I was like, you know what? This is not the time for me to say, like, blue lives matter, all lives matter. Because I've said that at some points. I was choosing a side that maybe was not the best. And I've said that before, but at this time I was like, you know what? Like, I'm not speaking out right now because I want to make up my mind before I say something. Like, I want to know all the facts. And that's, like, I feel like the best thing to do, knowing all the facts. And once I got all the facts, I realized this is, like, fucking messed up. Like, this is fucking horrible, what they did to him. And I feel not for the first time, but, like, I officially want to say, like I actually do support the movement now. Like, I'm actually for Black Lives Matter, and that's because I actually held my comments in. I heard like people talk about it. I listened to other people. I read about it, and then I spoke. Like, I feel like you just shouldn't be forced to do it right away. It's a human thing. Like, those are human rights, and people being treated like people, being treated like anybody else. And I hate that. That's what I was talking about earlier. I hate that the media is politicizing it. Like, this is not about politics. This is not about I agree with what the president say or I disagree with it. This is about I should treat those people equally. And spread awareness about it. Show other people that it's not right how they're treating them. I was talking to my sister yesterday, and she told me the statement that I was like, this one's it. Like, this is the statement. And it was I've seen it a lot lately. I can't believe I didn't see it earlier. and it says all lives don't matter until Black lives matter. And I was thinking about it. I was like, yeah, like how are all lives gonna matter? Black lives are not mattering right now. You know,
Yeah.
like how does that work?
It
And it doesn't. Like,
doesn't.
how are you saying all lives, but this group of people don't matter? You know, like they're not okay. They're suffering, but okay, like I don't care. Like that's just like a really fucked up way to think. And I feel like people should not get distracted at all for the looting that's going on. And sadly, like I'm just being straight up. You know, like I don't want to be sugarcoating things. Like it's mostly black people that are doing it, and I don't want that to. But at the same time, it's only a small portion of the black people that are actually protesting for the bigger thing, and I don't want anybody else that is not black to start being racist just because a small, tiny portion of who's actually protesting is looting houses, looting places. You know, like I want people to still stay focused, especially non-blacks, because those are the people that need to be more aware of things, because we're actually not going through it. You get me? We should not get like kind of like told to focus on the looting. Like like we should be humans and focus on the actual
Yeah.
movement. You know?
Like some people who haven't spoken out about Black Lives Matter but are speaking out about the looting, like you're more mad.
Yeah.
Yes, I'm mad because family are gonna lose money, right? But you're mad about this. Like this, for me, the looting is an excuse to talk bad about the Black community. It's an excuse to say, "Oh yeah, they are bad." You know, why am I gonna support them? But no, like again, separate things, and you can't really prioritize that over one thing. And then I think it's important for us as minorities to support like the movement. Like we know what it's like to be discriminated, but obviously it's in different terms. Like you know, some Hispanics are light skinned, Hispanics are whatever, so we don't experience as much. And right now it's a time to come together. Right now is the perfect. You know, they helped. They were in the protest when we were fighting for DACA, and I know a lot of us are helping too, like the youth. We're helping, but right now, especially in our communities, we're seeing them clash. We're seeing Black people and Hispanics clash. Hispanics are hurting Black people. You know, like gangbangers came out and they're just like innocently hurting Black people because they think they're looters, and the same goes vice versa. I know some like on video on lives you see kill that Mexican and vice versa. It's like both, and it doesn't matter who started it. People are coming in, they start. No, it doesn't matter, and it just. And that again is another small portion, but then it's getting our attention, and it shouldn't be. This is not our priority. That shouldn't be prioritized. Our attention should be at the main subject.
Yeah, and I mean, like, I do understand that it got. I mean, like, I do understand, but don't you think it got our attention because it's happening to us?
Yeah.
And that's, I mean, that's the way I see
Yeah,
it.
I get it.
Yeah, just going after the minorities, like the communities that are minorities. I do not tolerate that, like at all. Cause I mean, like, my parents have been business owners, and like they know how it feels for like their life savings to be destroyed, and it's not a nice feeling, you know. Like these people that are looting, they've never worked for anything, basically. Like that's the way I see it, and some have, you know. It's not like everybody's like some broke bum, you know, that's going there. But I don't know. I feel like there should be consequences to that. But again, I find it so messed up how people are paying more attention to that than, I mean, yeah, it's in your neighborhood, it's happening, but don't start talking like, don't start pulling your comments away from this, like supporting the movement just because of that, you know. Like be a human, and you could disagree with the looting, you could talk all the shit you want about it, but don't let that take your support away from the movement, you know. That's I feel like that could be that's my final message to those people.
I just watched the videos about the woman and the children and the Black lives, and it makes me enraged. And I feel like if you don't feel enraged, then you're not getting everything and you're not understanding everything. Because I watch these videos and I cry and I just think, why is this happening? This is so unfair. And this is the system, you know. It is the system we have. It's not a good system. We've been knowing that. So it's time. It's time to change. It's time to vote. We are a generation we have progressive mindsets. Obviously, we have those outliers. But if we, like you said, it's time to stop talking. But if elections are gonna start coming up, it's time to do something. We already saw the difference. We already saw what we can do. We already saw what's happening and what we feel. So now it's time to vote people in, especially this coming presidency. It's the time to show the country that we want a difference.
Yeah, and I just want to say that if people came out, showed the support to protest, and like there was sadly that, like you said, the looters, if they were enough, like not lazy enough and came out and they did their thing, then you shouldn't be lazy enough to go vote. You know, I feel like that's where the actual change is gonna happen, and also be a human and don't say all lives matter because apparently black lives do not matter right now. You get me? So just be a human, show your support to the movement, and also support your community at these times because they're tough, you know. And finally, since you know, like per subscriber I get in every episode, I donate to something. So do you want to like tell me what to donate or like where to donate to?
I don't have any memorized, but I know on Instagram there's a
Yeah.
bunch of I could send you on where
Yeah, you could.
you're saying to donate here, call here. So yeah.
Yeah, I'm definitely gonna for this one. I'm gonna donate to the BLM movement because they're definitely going through it and they need the support from everybody. So you know, you got my support, and I'm definitely as many subscribers I get, I'm gonna donate that amount. Plus, I'm gonna donate my own personal like amount that I want because I feel like you know I'm probably not gonna get enough subscribers, and I feel like it's not gonna be enough. So I'm just gonna round it up and then add like an extra 20 or something. So yeah, you got my support. All right. So thank you for joining me today. And this is it. You wanna like cheers? All right.